Hello and welcome to tonight's show. Well, I had a busy day today, not just me. Dad, Rachel, Ron, we all helped move stuff out of the storage unit. Our primary targets, I believe, were the washer and dryer that used to be over at 51, and they needed Ron's help to move the heavy stuff. I assumed everything got done, and you're back in Rochester. And you and Ron are back in Rochester now. I'd like to know how things went after I left because I had to get back for something. But uh, I know I was in charge of getting the U-Haul from the U-Haul location to the storage unit to Mom's first. We had to go to Mom's and drop uh, some stuff off at Mom's before going on to Dad's at 206 Loxley. So, I'm curious how things went from there when you went on to Dad's. I know you can't actively participate. You can just listen, but I'm sure we could talk about this later. But the point being, the goal and the mission was to get the washer and dryer back over to Dad's, so that he could hook it up and they can have a working washer and dryer without having to go to the laundromat. So that was sure a busy day, and over which we were actually looking through a an old photo album of pictures from 51 and 141 and 85 North Main Street. And it's interesting because Dad said today he wishes that he could find a place like 85 North Main Street in Broadalbin for Alessandria. And I actually brought up Elizabeth and Alex's house at 6 Edward Terrace in Albany. Is I think it's a good substitute or a pretty almost close alternative because it has the big backyard similar to Pool Lake Trail. I think the architecture inside 6 Edward Terrace is similar. So I would say eventually we could bring Alessandria to Albany and have that be the next 85 North Main Street in Broadalbin. Elizabeth and Alex, what are your thoughts on that? I think that's a good idea. What do you think? Well, as you ponder that, we're gonna get back to the music, and then hopefully, maybe now that Elizabeth's on, maybe we can play a game. Uh, try try a new pass mechanism that that I've implemented into the game. We'll see if it works. Hold on. Of course, I gotta turn this off. Turn it on. Excuse me. We're back, and I think it's time that we do something that we didn't get to do last week, and that is, of course, play a game. Let me get the game ready. Put it on game mode. Everybody, you should have a box if you want to play. Gotta switch it over to the correct game, and probably you know the drill by now. We'll see if this works. Okay, here we go. New game. Play with hosts. I'll get the here's your game code, and I'll put the instructions on how to play, and yada yada. There we go. Anybody? We need 2 players. If only one player joins, that means I'm gonna have to play. Which means I've got to play, so I got to sign in and join the game. This is a different game that we're playing. We're not playing Bump or Dump just yet. This is a different game that we're playing actually. There is a new pass mechanism. Before we start the game, there is a new pass mechanism that I've been trying to implement. You can't pass on 2 consecutive turns. The catch is you cannot pass on 2 consecutive turns. The catch is you cannot pass on 2 consecutive turns. Otherwise, it will not work. There's your category. I'll start the round 1. And I think I'm up first. Or, no, Elizabeth's up first. Elizabeth, it's your turn first. It's currently tied at 2. It's tied 3-3. Remember, if you can't think of something, just pass. But it looks like Elizabeth's going to win this round. Congratulations. Elizabeth, you win this round and you win the game. Thank you for playing. That's the game. Thank you for playing. Now we're going to take a big break. And we are going to do hold on. Actually, no, cancel that. You may not know him, but Rob Bass, the one half of Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, passed away last night. So, in honor of that, we're going to play one of his two hits that he was famous for, and this is called It Takes Two. Again, this is It Takes Two by Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. It actually samples an older R&B song called Think About It by Lynn Collins. So this is in honor of the late Rob Bass. Please enjoy. Nope, not quite time to go to the music just yet, because that means it is time to play our Bump It segment. And I figure we're going to go back to the old, we're going to do a hybrid of the old model versus the new model. If you remember votes when songs where we actually vote bump or dump, and then so we bump or dump two songs, and then we do two more songs by artists who celebrated a birthday this week. We're going to go back to that model. We're going to start actually with a song that's kind of like country and pop. It blends country and pop together. And we're actually, I actually heard this last week. And I couldn't wait to share it with you all this week. So that's what we're going to do. And I gotta pull it off of YouTube because I don't have time. I didn't have time to program it in. So we'll start with this one. And again, I already got a vote from Matt I've already got votes from Matt and Rachel. Already, I'll save them to the end, so they don't influence your vote. I'll share what Matt and Rachel thought of the song after we play it. This is "Choosing Texas" by Ella Langley. Mom, when you joined in the last time, were you able to get any music? Because you should have gotten some music before I went live. You should have gotten some of the new song before I went back on live. Did you? Or did you get something else? Okay, what did you think of the song? What did you think of what you heard on the song thus far? Bump or dump? Oh, and Matt voted bump on this one, and Rachel voted dump on this one. While you're pondering over that, we're going to move on to our next song, our next bump or dump song. This is called Fever Dream by Alex Warren. And again, I already got Matt's and Rachel's votes earlier. Okay. Actually, to be fair to Mom, I think we gotta play the song again. Yeah, actually, to be fair to Mom, I think we gotta play the song again. So, please bear with me, and we're gonna play the song again, just so Mom can listen to the whole thing and vote. Thank you, and welcome Anne to the show. We had to play it again for Mom to hear. The first time we played it, Mom didn't hear, but most like it was dumped. It was bumped by everybody except Rachel, including yeah. So it was dumped by everybody except Rachel. Rachel didn't apparently like this one. According to her, she said it's been overplayed a lot and it's not really her style, even though she was a country fan at a different part of life. Matt also bumped it. We're going to move on now. We're going to move on to a different song. This one by an artist named Alex Warren. No, it's not ordinary. It's called Fever Dream. And please sit back, relax, and enjoy it. I will let you know. I do too. I will let you know how others who were not able to submit votes in real time voted on it. So, but for now, please enjoy this next bumper to dumper hit. It is Alex Warren with Fever Dream right here on the pre-wiki, right here on the Weekend Party on Forever Living Radio. Yeah, that's a very strange thing for Mom. I don't know why it's not working. Uh, let's give this another try. See if it works for Mom. Here we go. I do agree it does sound like a dancing song. Hopefully this next artist will get your feet dancing. It is Gautier. It was Gautier's birthday this week. Gautier is the artist that had a one-hit wonder. You might have heard it's called Somebody That I Used to Know. But because the Dolce Anxiety song came out last year that samples the tune, the one-hit wonder by Gautier, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to ask you if you prefer the original or the remake, and we'll play what the majority has chosen. Now, before I forgot to mention, Rachel and Matt voted on the last song earlier today, and they both gave it dumps. I mean bumps. Bumps. Not dumps, bumps. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Bumps. Now we move on. Now we move forward. And please tell me whether you prefer the original Somebody That I Used to Know or the remake Dolce Anxiety. I'll give you context about the other voters. Rachel liked both because she feels as though Dolce has. She likes the way what Dolce did to Anxiety, and Matt bumped it because it has the best of both worlds, and Dolce sampled the original. What say you? Please let me know in the chat. And the majority, so technically we have a two-way tie right. Well, so we have one for Dolce, and then one for both. Let's see what the others think, and then once I get the majority, I'll know what to play. Okay, one vote for original. We haven't heard from Elizabeth or Mom yet. No, I'm waiting for Elizabeth to make her vote of whether you prefer the original or the remake. And then as soon as I have the majority, we'll play either. Original, let me see if I even have that in there. Please stand by. We're in luck. I have the original. And actually, I also have a mashup of the two combined. So we're going to play the original Gautier, Somebody That I Used to Know, featuring Kimbra. We're not going to play the new Anxiety version. So here we go. And that was the original version of Somebody That I Used to Know by GoTA. Now, here's a funny story, and I wish Kaylee were on because she would get a laugh out of this. When this song first came out, this was back in 2012, 2011, 2012, we played a game of MQ. I don't know if anybody's going to remember this but me. She thought it went, instead of you treat me like a stranger, she thought it sounded like you treat me like a stripper and I feel so rough. And I still remember that. And actually, there's a version of the song on There I Ruined It. And that actually features that actual line. So, if Kaylee were on, I'm sure she would have laughed. But we're going to move on now to our final song, final Bump It or Dump It. And this actually goes back to the 80s or 90s hip hop. So, as you know, or if you don't know, Jordan Knight was one of the members of a little band called a little boy band called New Kids on the Block. And Mark Wahlberg was also a member of New Kids on the Block. And then Mark Wahlberg went on, before he went on to become an actor, he actually started his own group, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. So that means your song choices today are going to reflect that. So please stand by while I put the song choices in the chat, and as soon as you see them, begin to vote. There are your choices. Please keep in mind that Matt already voted for Step by Step, so let's see what the others think. It's a tie between Step by Step and Good Vibrations. Okay, that's the winner. Good Vibrations. I like that one too. I would have voted for that as well. Here we go. Actually, wait a minute. I already have this in the system, don't I? Enjoy, here we go. I'm sure that was a blast from the past. So before we sign off, actually, to close off the show, I do want to recognize a milestone that I celebrated earlier this week. May 19th marks I'm trying to think, the 12th anniversary of when I started the research at SU. If you don't know by now, back in 2014, I did a 5-year long research journey at Syracuse University studying people who have visual impairments or other disabilities and how their privacy is impacted by their disabilities, particularly not just privacy, as in their physical privacy, but also their electronic privacy when using computers and other technical devices. So I did that for about 5 years, published 3 papers, now 4 papers, met some great friends and colleagues along the way, including Brian, who sometimes comes on here to listen. And also, Elizabeth and I did a show called the Pre-Weekend Kickoff back in... Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. I've tried to turn it as loud as I can. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Can you all hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you all hear me? 1, 2, 3. Testing. I think maybe it's yeah. 1, 2, 3. Let's try that again, shall we? Yeah, let's try this again, shall we? So, 12 years ago, on May 19th, 2014, I began my research career. Yes, I began my research career at Syracuse University. I did that for 5 years. I studied how computer privacy and security impacts people who have all types of disabilities, including visual impairments, hidden disabilities. We published 4 papers, and at various different conferences. And I made a lot of great friends and colleagues along the way. And I enjoyed it, but I'm glad that I'm moving on to the world of IT. So, and it was a rewarding experience. I could say that. I'll say that much. It was a rewarding experience, that's for sure. So, because it's Memorial Day weekend, it's happy Memorial Day to all of you on Monday. We're gonna play our annual patriotic medley. We're going to do "The Stars and Stripes Forever" by John Philip Sousa, and then we're going to play our Armed Forces medley as well. So, happy Memorial Day. And actually, so we're going to play that, and then we're going to end the show with the Somebody That I Used to Know Dochi Anxiety mashup. So, I am getting that ready for now. I am getting that ready as I try to stall here. But Mazel Tov, I'm signing off. Everyone stay forever living and have a great Memorial Day, and we'll see you back here next week. Sorry, trying to get this to work and it's not. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to work and it's not working. Hold on. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Where is it? I hate looking this up. I just saw it. Here we go. Have a good weekend, everybody, and a wonderful week. Mazel tov, I'm signing off.